I remember when Terry Jarvis and Craig Heatley came into this office, and they were the two guys that started Sky TV, and we put one of the people involved with Sky in with me for a full hour taking talkback, and at the end of it somebody came to me from the newsroom and said, "You're mad. That is going to be the end of your job, the fact that we're going to have so much television of live sport, that'll be the end of you, mate." And I said, no, that's the beginning of me. And it proved to be so. I didn't realise I was going to be able to have two careers, one with Sky and one here. I was in the embryonic stages of working with Sky at that time on Deaker profiles, and then suddenly, of course, later it became Deaker on Sport, 519 programs of that, 1 hour, all of them live, 311 programs of Deaker profiles. I could see that New Zealanders were going to see sport in a way that they'd never ever seen it before, that it was going to be wall to wall. Look at the weeks that we've just had with the Australian golf coming in. We never used to see any of that. My listeners tonight are going to, hopefully, want to talk about Rory McIlroy beating Adam Scott. Now, they wouldn't have seen that a few years ago. 20 years ago, they didn't see that. My father was mad on sport. He never ever saw, his heroes playing in the Australian Tennis Open. And yet, he wanted to see those things. What it did was that Sky, if you used it properly, allowed you to embrace the whole discussion of sport, and in particular to talk about what we had just seen. It has changed it so dramatically. Now what has to happen, and I don't know where this will go, is that there is a change. Every Tom, Dick and Harry thinks that they're a publisher. Every Tom, Dick and Harry thinks that they are now running their own blog. Every nitwit is tweeting. Everybody's sending out their own views, and nobody is monitoring that. And there is no way of monitoring that. And so what impact is that going to have on talkback? Now, you're probably aware, I don't allow people to tweet, or I don't take texts on my program, because my program is a talkback program. So why would I ever want to text? Now, it's an argument I've lost here because everybody else takes texts, but it's ridiculous. Talkback is limited by texting. So I don't want text. And the other thing that happened was that the 2 nights only that I took texts, I noticed that the texters were rude. I noticed that they couldn't spell. I noticed that they were illiterate. And so I didn't want to have anything to do with them. So I just got rid of them. They don't text me, and that's fine. So, people said to me, "Oh, you're missing out on a generation." I said, no, I'm missing out on ignoramuses. But Sky is important. It is an important point that you raise. It has changed the face of how we broadcast on radio, because people have seen the action internationally and they can comment. And it has widened us out from just being rugby league. We remain predominantly during the winter, still that though. It's hard to get away. If I was to think that I had made some impact, it may be the fact that there are a lot of women that ring my program, and they didn't used to ring sports programs at all. They've rung me over the years, and I hope that they continue to do so for this last month that I'm on.